I am going to need a fucking drink when I'm done with this. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? I've watched this episode. I've not watched it for a fucking long while, and there is a massive big reason why I don't watch it. Oh, so guys, I'm going to be reviewing Hell Shit. This is going to be an interesting one. So, when I started doing this, when I started, I've given you guys clues on how my reaction was going to be in previous reviews, but I I have to be honest here. I want I want to get through this episode and just say because I have to be honest. I do like this episode a slightly little bit more than Sleep No More because there is some parts of this episode I do like, but there's a whole lot of it I really hate. But I'm going to start off with the positives because if I start off with the negatives now, I'm going to start breaking something. It's the reason why I've took my glasses off because I'll probably start throwing them later. So I again, I'm still going to be a little bit negative here, but I'm also going to be a bit positive as well. It starts off with the doctor in the middle of nowhere, somewhere in Utah. I can't in the US. I can't remember exactly where, and he's just there driving or whatever, and then he just comes into a diner, and Clara was there. I've been in that diner, by the way. It's in Cardiff. Had to put that out there. Well, it's closed now, but yeah. And I'm just thinking, why is Clara there? She's supposed to be dead. And when I first saw this, I thought this whole thing about them about the whole diner scenes that you get when the doctor is telling the stories. I thought this might be this might be the doctor going a bit more further back in time before Clara met the doctor. So I just thought that would have made sense. But no, we did not get that in the end. But when he gets onto the story, because it didn't go the way we all thought it would have. Like, you just think that it would just continue to where it was. But no, it was the doctor telling a fucking story about it, which I just didn't like. So it just starts off with the doctor coming back to Gallifrey. And this is an episode that a lot of us have been waiting for from the modern series. And I just felt so let down. But yeah, sorry guys. This is getting hard for me to be I'm trying to be positive, but it's just not working. But I'll try and do this. So, the Doctor's back on Gallifrey, and he goes into the barn, which we have seen with the Ward Doctor in Day of the Doctor. He goes back there, and he was going. Obviously, we know he was going to destroy his own people, and we've also been there when Clara was there and Listen. Yeah, all the way back to Listen in Series 8. And then I loved it how Razalon was um, he was he was fantastic. Donald Sumter as Razalon was brilliant. Um, and I loved it, the whole Doctor being really pissed off. Like, I was loving when the Sisterhood of Khan was saying, like, it's like we don't, the Doctor um, doesn't blame the Time Lords for the Time War, and and he just says that he just blames you. I was loving that. I just loved it how all the other Doctors, well, not the other Time Lords. I didn't mean to say Doctors. When all the other Time Lords were just there, and and apparently the Doctor was having soup. I thought that was random, but all right. I liked how he was when the Time Lords were coming, and the Doctor would not answer to anyone but Rathalon. I was loving that. That was just, again, as I said, I still loved it how my 12th Doctor is back. I will always love Peter Capaldi for, even though this episode was shit, I will respect Peter Capaldi for it. I'm not blaming Peter because this is what this is what he's been given. I yeah, I was just absolutely loving that, and the Doctor took control so quickly. I mean, okay, I understand that the Time Lords must give him a load of respect because he was the war hero. He was the man who won the Time War. So I understand that the Time Lords, they have to give him loads of respect for it, though. But he took control so quickly. I just thought it was a bit easy, but and I didn't like how Razalon was just banished like that. We just didn't know where he went afterwards. And he's all been wanting information about the fucking hybrid. I'm gonna get onto that in a bit. And I loved it when the Doctor was just he was in the High Council, and he was on, like, he was basically the president. Like, he just took over Razalon's job. I was loving, like, the whole Doctor being interrogated and all that. And then he says, he's talking about the hybrid with Ken Bones, the general. And then he was saying that, he knows the hybrid. I'm sorry, I'm going to get onto that in a bit. And then he just said, I'm going to need help from an old friend. And I remember first watching this, and I just thought, oh, an old friend, who could it be? And and then next minute, you just get the Raven, all the way back to Face of the Raven, Clara going to her death, and then the Raven froze, and then the Doctor just comes out and says, like, Clara, come to me, and then she just escapes her death, because from what I know, okay, I would have said, if you wanted to put Clara into this, use her for what she needed to say about the hybrid, because about what she needed to say about the hybrid, and then she's going to have to go back and then face her death again. That would have been alright. I wouldn't have minded that. But the Doctor, being the idiot that he is, he just went against the general, and then he just starts bloody shooting him. I was like, he was helping you a bit ago. Why? Why have you done that? Right, okay, I understand that the Doctor just, I understand that he wants to, he will do anything just to get his friend back. I understand that, because I would do that. I would do the same to some of my closest friends or family members. But but the Doctor's a Time Lord. He should know this. He should know that he can't do this. But he gives me fucking frustrations. Oh my god! I'm gonna start throwing something in a minute. And then we get on to and then they escape, and then they're in the death zone, and I didn't like to me the general, when he regenerated, the general was dead. When Ken Bones left, the general was dead. He didn't get up. He didn't turn into a woman. Nothing happened. He just stayed dead. And that was the biggest loss ever. And I am so annoyed, because I really loved Ken Bones as the general. I thought he was brilliant. Oh, such a waste character. He was brilliant. And then, as I said, they're in the Doctor and Clara in the death zone. And I will admit, I did like, for a short length of time, I was liking, the Weeping Angels and the Cybermen in it, but they were just a waste. It was just fan service again. Stephen Moffat, why are you doing this, mate? Why? I mean, obviously, I'm going to be talking about you a bit more positive when we get to Series 10, but this is the part where you really frustrate me. And then then they escape in the TARDIS, in another TARDIS. And then they escape Gallifrey, and that was it. We didn't see Gallifrey after that. It was an absolute waste. Gallifrey was just wasted. We hardly saw Gallifrey. We just hardly saw it. This is an episode I was so hyped for, the Time Lords back. That's something that whoever's been watching the modern series since 2005, we've all probably been wanting to see a dream of an episode of Gallifrey. I know we got Time with Children, but I will actually get onto that episode much later on, because I'm getting a steal. But anyway, that will come later. And then we go to the end of the sort of universe where me / Ashilda was there, and she just sat down she just sat down completely calm, and nothing bad's happening at all. When you're just saying that she sat at the edge of the universe. If I was in that position, I'd be bloody stressed, not calm. Oh God, why? And then this is what annoyed me the most. The Doctor said he knew what the hybrid was, and I loved the theory of half Dalek, half Time Lord. I was loving that, but we just didn't get that. He started to say, he said that he knew what it was, and the next minute, him and the Doctor and Ashilda were just started just saying it was fairies. It's like, hang on a minute, you just knew what it was, and now you're just thinking the fairies of it. Why? And from what I know from this, it is something to do with how the Doctor ran away from Gallifrey. Well, for those who have watched the War Games and who's known the Doctor a lot longer than people from the mod who have watched it since 2005, you guys should know that we all like the Doctor because we didn't know much about him, and all we knew that the Doctor just escaped from Gallifrey because he was bored. But no, that's what we got told in the War Games, and Stephen Moffat has just shitted on my favourite regeneration story. Why? Just fucking why? But no, he didn't run away because he was bored. He ran away because he was scared of a hybrid. And from what it actually meant was, what the hybrid was, it was just the Doctor and Clara. What? I don't understand. What else are you... If that is the thing, then I don't understand why this... What was the whole point of it? Why? I don't know. Oh my god, it just frustrates me so much. So... getting a headache now. And then... Clara... was watching in the TARDIS, and then then the Doctor goes in, tries to wipe her memory, and then Clara's just like, no, you're not doing that. I've got this thing, and if I activate this, it will go straight onto you, Doctor. And then the Doctor's just like, okay, maybe that I should use this thing that it'll get one of us. But I just didn't like how this episode was just basically Clara she overpowered the Doctor. No one should have that power. Absolutely no one. The Doctor, he did the biggest mistake ever from bringing Clara back. She should have stayed dead. That was it. But no, we got her back. And it's just absolutely ruined Faith the Raven. I just don't know why. Oh my fucking god. Fucking shit. And I'll tell you what else that also shits on it. About when... at the end, when the Doctor forgets who Clara is, when he's back in the diner, telling the story to Clara, and he says like, "Oh, I know her name is Clara, and I travelled with her," and he says, "Oh, if I saw you, I'll know who he is." It's like she's standing right in front of you. If you said you knew, she's right there. Why? I just feel like this episode also made the Doctor look stupid. I don't understand why. And then Clara goes into the most stupidest CGI TARDIS, which is supposed to be the diner, and she's traveling with I'm just gonna call him Maisie Williams now. And then they just go into space, make their own travels. I hate it. I want to punch it to death. Why does this episode even exist? I do not understand. And then getting on to a little bit more positive, the Doctor goes back to his TARDIS. And then and then he is goes back in and he gets his sonic screwdriver. So I was happy. I'm glad that he got his screwdriver back because the fucking sonic sunglasses I just didn't like. But he still uses them in Series 10. But I don't remember him using as much as he did though. But oh my god, this episode was bad. But as much as negative I've been in this, I would say I prefer this episode much more than Sleep No More, because with Sleep No More there was nothing to it I liked, and there just wasn't pardon me, and there wasn't much I could say about that episode. But with Hellbent, as much as I hate it so much, there were bits I liked. So ratings, I am going to give this a very, very weak 3, only because there were bits I liked. Yeah, oh my god, I'm so glad this is over with now. Yeah, guys, tell me in the comments on what you thought of this episode. I'd like to know. Give me a like if you... I'm sorry, guys, this is probably not the sort of video you want to see if you want to see more content of me. But yeah, guys, tell me in the comments what you thought of Hellbent. I'd like to know. Oh god, just and I will be doing my overall opinion on Series 9, and with that shit finale, it's gonna be an interesting one. So yeah then, guys, I shall see you next time. Bye for now.